Ukraine on verge of encirclement, as Russia cuts to their rear suddenly. It's day 1148 of Russia's operation in Ukraine. Let's dive deeper. Starting from the Toretsk front. In the last 24 hours, the situation on this front has become very interesting. As you know, both Ukraine and Russia have committed enough forces on this front. An intense fighting has been taking place since Russian forces started counterattacking. We even saw glimpses of the Russian future plans, as they launched an offensive along the road, and were able to penetrate 6 kilometers deep. However, as this was never confirmed, it is safe to assume that the attack was repelled. However, after receiving the latest report from this section, it seems like Russian forces have not abandoned the plan. According to the sources, Russian forces, after attacking along the road, were able to take this position and took this area under their control. We will definitely see more attacks to secure the flank. Because, as you know, Ukrainian forces on both sides will make it almost impossible to sustain the new captured position. So attacks on both flanks are expected. In addition, within the city, in order to push Ukrainian forces back from this section, Russian forces launched an attack on their rear. According to the sources, they launched an attack on Kherson from the western part, and as a result they were successful and took this area under their control. If Russian forces take control of Kherson, Ukrainian forces will have to withdraw from this entire area. Now a little east. In our previous report, we saw how Russian forces launched an offensive towards Konstantinivka, and were able to capture a big area on both axes. Today, Russian forces continue to advance forward. Recently, Russian forces shared footage of them raising their flag in Kalinova, thus confirming the confident control. Now near Sukhabalka, Russian forces continue their advance along the heights. Recent reports confirms they have taken this area under their control. However, attacks from the south were repelled by Ukrainian forces. Now moving to the Kherson region, where Ukraine holds their last remaining position. In our last report, we saw how Russian forces recaptured big areas from Gava and left Ukraine with small areas near the border. In the last 24 hours, they have started counterattacking towards the Garnal. In the recent footage shared by the sources confirms, they were able to take this area under their control, as we saw Russian soldiers waving to the drone near the monastery. Recently, the Ukrainian parliament passed a bill to extend mobilization and martial law in Ukraine for another 90 days. Many people were hoping that they might not extend the martial law and may hold the election in coming months. Subscribe for more frontline updates. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.